Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's UBNradio.com.
Friday, everyone. Good Friday. Good Friday. Thank you guys for joining us again. Thank you.
Cloudy Friday.
Very cloudy Friday. Good Friday, everyone. Welcome to Focus with Ron Frierson. I'm your host, Ron Frierson. I have my regular contributor, damn near my co-host, Mr. Woody Wilson here with me.
What's up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you too, my brother.
I barely made it here today.
I know you did. Traffic is getting worse and worse.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about that?
I don't know.
Do not move to California, please.
I'm telling you, please don't stay. Or if you do, ride a bike, you know.
Yeah.
But, well, welcome again, everyone. This is the second show of the new year. I am glad to be with you guys. I am so blessed and privileged that you would spend your Friday evening with me. This is a wonderful way to kick off the long weekend. Martin Luther King Day is on Monday, so many of us have a long weekend. Right after the holidays, another long weekend, they're going to spoil us. Today we're going to touch a lot of subjects. We're going to talk about the president's final State of the Union address. Excuse me.
Ooh, he got down.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the election cycle with Trump versus Cruz, Trump versus everybody, Bernie versus Hillary. And we're going to talk about some of the economic issues, some of the global economic issues as well. But to start the show, my customary rant, which I call My Thoughts, this is two-pronged. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that earlier this week I had a conversation with my nephew, and I'm sure many of us adults that listen to the program, we can see, and I guess every adult throughout history has said this, is that there's a difference between the youth of today and the way we were. I think the difference nowadays, in my opinion, is, as I go through my thoughts, is that we in our culture now put a premium on youth, probably too much so, because youth is to be, youth does have its advantages, but usually those advantages are tied to hope. The hope for our youth that they will learn from our lessons and learn from our mistakes and make new mistakes and go further than what we did. We shouldn't revere our youth. It's a difference. To revere our youth is not to accept where we are and not to accept ourselves and what we can contribute. The people that should be revered are our elders, are the people that came before us. And it seems to me as if we have lost sight in many respects of our history and our elders, and we don't put them in their proper place. But at the same time, we revere our youth, which is, it's misguided. And the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of the youth today, in my opinion, feel entitled. It seems. Yeah. They're very entitled. But they are like that because we allow them to be like that. We have a very me-centered, I-centered culture, an ever-changing culture, where something may be important today, but it's not important tomorrow, and it's not important tomorrow because we seem as if we've forgotten it, or we hadn't put emphasis on it, or we don't put it in its proper historical context. And all of this is permeating our entire culture. And the way this ties into us politically, and I spoke to my nephew about this as well, is understand the times we're living in. We just saw the final State of the Union address from our first African-American president in our country's long, tumultuous history.
So memorable.
It's a point of respect and a point in history that one day, if we live long enough, we're going to look back at it and we're going to understand the historical significance of this man being in office. Whether or not you voted for him, whether or not you agree with all his policies, you have to respect where we've come and what he represents to this country. And then once you look back at it, one day there's going to be history books, and we're going to have movies and books written about him, and you're going to look at things, and it's going to be Jackie Robinson moments where you're going to see people that disagree with him strictly because of things other than politics, and it makes no sense.
Right.
So I did a little list of some of the things that he went through his administration. When I say went through, I mean some of the things he accomplished or tried to achieve. Mm-hmm. So access to health care. At its core, what he wanted was more people to be covered with have some sort of health care insurance.
Right.
So that they, was driving up costs and things of that sort.
I have a friend who had open heart surgery, and he would have died without Obamacare because he didn't have any insurance.
So what they did on the other side, they said that he wanted a complete government takeover of health care and said there were going to be death panels. There are no death panels, and it's not a complete government takeover of health care. At its core, he just wanted health care for everyone, and which I would say is a basic human right. Secondly, he wanted to get out of Iraq and out of Afghanistan because you saw the quagmire that we were in, how much money we were spending in those two wars. Afghanistan was a legitimate war, in my opinion. Iraq was not. And the blood and treasure that went into those different wars and what we went through. They turned it around and said he was weak on terrorism and he didn't know what he was doing. There's always that yin and yang. It's always something negative. Okay, and you have to decide which side you fall on in regards to saving American treasure, saving American lives, or whether or not you want to be the world's policeman. Another thing was not going into Syria with ground troops. If you understand history, which I was talking about before, hardly ever since the times of Alexander the Great has anyone gone into the Middle East and truly taken it over. They've always had to stay. And even when Alexander the Great died, it went back crazy. That's just the way it is over there. And as a student of history, he decided against that, but then they started saying he's weak and things of that sort. You get all that stuff. Another thing was not isolating and accusing an entire group of Americans because of their religion of being terrorists. On the other side, they will say that, he's soft and weak. He won't even use the words radical Islamic terrorism. So everything that he's tried to do that made common sense, and if you look at it in that vein, it makes perfect sense. But then his opposition will find some sort of dogmatic, illogical, and political way to oppose him just because they can, whether or not it's for the betterment of the country or the betterment of the world or the betterment for you and I. And that doesn't mean that everything he did was right, but it means that his intentions were right. And instead of working with him to improve certain things, they would just flat out deny him because they did not want any sort of successes to be attributed to him once he leaves office. Obviously, that won't be the case, but that was the goal. So during the State of the Union address, he said one of his regrets was that the divide in the politics of these days has grown since he's been in office, and he wanted to come into office as a uniter. That's not all on him. So let's remember this when we talk about the entire issue of time, the entire issue of history, the entire issue of the respect of time. Respect the time that we're in. Respect this man for what he's done. Whether or not you agree with him politically, you have to respect it. And that's pretty much my say on that.
Good job. Yeah, that State of the Union address, I was really taken back by it. And it was, he got out of the way, kind of the State of the Union up front.
Yeah.
And then he went into kind of setting the agenda for Congress, for the political arena. And unfortunately, I switched right to Fox after what I thought was such an eloquent speech that was bipartisan, that was just talking about the details of what we need to accomplish. And I went to Fox, and the way they twisted that speech, it was amazing. And you have to watch both sides of the fence.
Exactly.
And I just could not believe what they heard versus what I heard.
And the thing is that, and if you notice, the only thing that President Obama says about the previous administration are things that are quantifiable, meaning this. It's true that we were hemorrhaging jobs, when President Obama took office, and that was largely based on some of the policies and the economic conditions of the time. It's true that we were hemorrhaging, in both treasure, and we had American lives being expired in Iraq and other places so to get us out. But here, the stuff they say about him, it's deeper. It's more than just about policies. The stuff they say about him is outside the pale.
Insurrectionists. They just rebels. They go against everything he says.
Yeah, and Chris Christie said during the Republican debate last night that January 20th, if he's the president, he's going to kick President Obama out of the White House and get
That's
started.
so disrespectful.
Extremely disrespectful. It's extremely disrespectful. And Chris Christie isn't kicking anything because he can't lift his leg. But the point is that the fact that it's been so commonplace for them to disrespect him the way it is. And I didn't really like George W. Bush. I didn't think he was the most articulate.
I'm not going to dog him out
but
like
you
they
don't,
dog out
you don't do
Obama.
like that. They still respect the office.
Yes.
But the world is watching this. And some of these same people with these same sort of, very degrading statements about the president, when everything shakes out and their emotions calm down in some years and they're able to look at themselves soberly and look at some of the things they've said, they're going to be ashamed of themselves.
They're going to be ashamed of themselves. And their children are going to be ashamed of them.
They're going to be the George Wallace to what George Wallace was to the civil rights movement. Right. And if you guys don't know who George Wallace was, I think he was out of Alabama, but he was the governor in Alabama that said segregation now, segregation forever, and obviously segregation is no more. And he was, basically the trumpeter or the cheerleader for segregation, and his life went, the entire history wasn't on his side, so to speak.
Right.
And some of these guys, history is not on your side. So just face the music. History's not on your side. So when we talk about that entire talking about comments, negative comments, Donald Trump, it seems like him and his boyfriend Ted Cruz have finally decided to break up. I guess
Trump is here to stay.
He's here to stay, and Trump, he's smart.
I don't know how smart he is.
He knows how to fight.
Yeah, he talks trash. That's all he does.
Yeah, but the thing is that he's good at it.
Yeah.
He's good at it. I mean, the thing, I would never vote for Trump, but he's actually good at it. Every time you try to hit him, he'll hit where it hurts. Now, with Ted Cruz and anyone he sees starting to catch up to him, he starts to get on him. And he does it subtly. He'll just bring up some question. I don't know about Ted Cruz. I'm just saying. I like the guy.
Wasn't he born in Canada?
He was born in Canada, and they're going to sue him. And he's always like this. He's going to sue him. He's going to sue as he does his hand. I don't know. But and now Ted Cruz is starting to drop in the polls in Iowa.
Yeah.
I think he's still in the lead, but he's starting to drop.
But how can you be born in Canada and still be a senator and run for president of the United States?
I think that
I know he had dual citizenship, but don't you have to be born in the USA?
No, I think the key is either in the USA or in U.S. territory, unless you come from American parents. And I think that
his father was American, right?
I think his mother. No, I think his father's American and his mother's Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not sure exactly
how. It's a gray
how
area.
It's a gray area, but the point is that it's never been a definitive constitutional judgment on this matter.
Right.
And because there hasn't been a definitive constitutional judgment on this matter, then the question will arise. And then when the questions arise, you never know. So
that's shade.
Donald Trump is feeding into that unknown. Well, he may not be able to do it because it's a question. I mean, the question came up with John McCain since he was born in Panama, but he was born in American territory in the Panama Canal on a base, and because he was on a base in Panama, he's still considered eligible for the presidency.
And Obama was born in the state of Hawaii, and they were asking for his.
And you know what? And that's a funny thing. That's a funny thing. Now, Ted Cruz, who's a constitutional scholar and a conservative, always saying that the original intent of the Constitution is what, is the end all to be all. You should go strictly by what the Constitution says. Don't forget about the, interpretation, and go by what it says, by the letter of the Constitution. So the letter of the Constitution is a natural-born American. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't want to go by the letter of the Constitution because
in that regard.
Yeah, in that regard. Yeah. So now he wants to find some wiggle room and find some sort of interpretation that will favor him as opposed to the letter
politics.
Of the law. Stupid, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I won't think I could vote for Ted Cruz anyway. Something about that dude. He reminds me of like.
You said you could vote for him?
I couldn't. No, I couldn't. It's just like he's too slick, man. He looks slick. He looks like he just. I don't know.
He looks like he lies.
he looked like he always smelling something. You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
Yeah, like he's always got that "what's that I smell" look on his face. I don't know, but I don't think I could vote for Ted Cruz. I gotta have the phone number. You got our phone number with you? If you guys have any questions for us, feel free to call in at area code 323-843-2826. Again, 323-843-2826. Now, Hillary and Bernie. Oh, before I go there, we got to go with Trump and Hillary too. Trump went in for the jugular. When Hillary called Trump a sexist, Trump just skipped over
right
and
over
said the bills.
Right
listen, that's what I'm saying. Trump, he
hits him in the gut.
He's
from the streets, Trump. He there's no political nuance. There's no skill. He's a rough around the edges, but
I don't necessarily know if he's from the streets, but he's just he plays the game differently. He plays the game differently than the rest of them. Yeah. So no, but Hillary has her own problems.
What problems are those?
Bernie.
Oh yeah, Bernie. I like Bernie. I like Bernie Sanders.
I like Bernie too. Bernie has no allies on the Hill, though. I mean, it's like the entire establishment. Obama had he had Dick Durbin, and he had Dick Lugar. I think it's Dick Lugar. I know it's
Bernie's got to have a couple of guys on the Hill.
Yeah, but nobody's come out to endorse him. Like President Obama had a few people that came out to endorse him. But I can't think of anybody that's come out to.
It's still early yet.
Yeah, it's still early, but this is the thing I have with Bernie. I don't know whether or not Bernie will be able to govern, and I like everything he's saying, but if they're going to block President Obama the way they have, and they have blocked him in almost everything, this is how we've learned that the president is not a king.
Right.
The president does have, certain powers, which primarily executive orders and to some executive orders, whether it is to send someone into a conflict, but he still can't declare war. Congress has to do that.
Right.
And then laws, the president can't pass laws. Congress has to do that. And these things that Bernie Sanders wants to do, I don't think he'll be able to get anything passed. I really
of course
don't.
He won't. I mean, the ideology is great, but he's not going to be able to. He's not going to make it happen. I mean, unless the Senate, so many changes have to occur for anything to get done, regardless of who the next president is.
That's true.
Hopefully it's a Democrat, so they don't go and try to reverse everything and then cause this mayhem across the country. Maybe if we work together, we can get this healthcare thing on the right track.
Oh, absolutely.
And initially, remember when healthcare was launched and the website failed? And come on, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many things. If you think about all the stuff they said about healthcare, remember Sarah Palin was, like I said earlier, was talking about the death panels where grandma wouldn't be able to get it.
We're really talking about Sarah Palin.
I mean, I'm just saying that she was one of the people when she was running saying that this Obamacare thing would not work because there would be death panels and all that stuff. But the thing that was remarkable
at foreign relations, right?
Exactly.
Because she could see Germany.
Exactly.
Russia,
yeah. The thing that's remarkable about the Affordable Care Act is that the fact that he got it passed, and they do not want this president to, go down as the person that introduced this landmark legislation, because I believe many of them do understand time and history. The Social Security Act in 1935, it pretty much excluded black people, and it didn't expressly say that black people can't get Social Security, but what it did is that it excluded all domestic workers and all agricultural workers, and most of those are black people.
Okay, of course.
So it's kind of like a backdoor way of excluding many of the poor, because we hadn't gone largely to industrialization back then because it was coming out of the Great Depression and stuff like that. So anyway, and then over time, it morphed into everyone getting it, and the program that many of us depend on to this day. So it's always the first to get your foot in the door of some sort of life-changing sort of legislation through the door. Getting it in the door is the hardest part. Once you get it in the door, then you can morph it, and then you can transform it into what it needs to be, because we move incrementally. And so with this Affordable Care Act, it's not perfect now. It's gotten through the best way he can get it through. Now that it's gotten through, if both parties got in together and worked on it to fix the things that need to be fixed,
it would be a great plan.
It would be a fantastic plan, and everyone can take credit for it.
Right.
But the way it's working now, only one party is going to make those incremental fixes whenever they have the power to do so. And then they are going to be the ones to reap the benefits of it in the electorate for generations to come.
And there's no counter proposal. They just want to stop it, reverse it, but they have no better plan.
They have a better plan. No, I don't think. Partially because it was part of their plan. Part of the
Initially
plan
it was, yes.
Part of the plan that President Obama put into place with the Affordable Care Act was Mitt Romney's quote unquote, Romney Care for Massachusetts. It's not a single payer system. It's a system where the private insurance companies still have sway, perhaps too much sway, but they still have influence in the market. It's still private. It's not completely public, which many liberals wanted. And so being that it's still insurance, private industry program wherein you have to get it, there's a mandate for it. That's exactly what Romney did. That's what the Republican, I think it was the Heritage Foundation.
Right.
I think they're the ones that pushed for this plan, but then let Obama introduce that same plan with those Republicans.
Actually took it off of Hillary's desk, because she took it, refined it, worked on it. She was going to make that happen when she came to the
I think
office.
Hillary wanted to try to get single payer, and I think Obama went off the more of the platform that Romney used in Massachusetts, where it wasn't single payer, because Hillary was struck down back in I think it was 92 or 93 when she tried to go for this. But Obama used Romney's plan largely because it had those Republican principles in it, and he was always trying to be a uniter, and so to speak. And they struck it down because it came from him. Even Mitt Romney himself said, "Oh yeah, it worked, but only works in Massachusetts."
Right.
Come on, man. That's just what the world we live in now.
Right.
But Bernie, she better watch out, man, because I could. Yeah, Bernie. Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot of Hollywood folks behind. I was playing golf the other day, and some of the guys I was playing with, some Hollywood folks are backing him and organizing fundraisers for him. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
So what is it? Do you think people just hate Hillary or they like Bernie?
Well, I think Hillary, initially going into the race, or just, the preliminary race, Hillary was the front runner, right? Because you thought she had the most experience, and her ideas were pretty much in line with President Obama's. And so you just kind of went with it until Bernie steps in and he starts talking about the real state of the nation, and he's really digging deeper past, the barriers into, the average communities, talking about how people are struggling and how we need to build back up the middle class. And I think that message resonates, with folks in the middle class, and that's the largest class of people.
Well, I think also Bernie is for real. Because Bernie been saying the same thing for 20, 30 years.
He's never changed his tone.
He's never changed his tone. And so he's a true believer.
You can look at his voting record.
Exactly. And now we've caught up to him.
Right.
So it's not like he's saying stuff for political expediency. He's saying stuff that he's believed, and now it's his time, because the things that he has been saying, now he has an ear.
He's on the stage now, so we're all listening.
Yeah, no, he's always been on the stage, but we're all listening. Like you said,
this international stage, running for president of the United States.
Yeah, but no one also expected him to be here. But
nor did they expect Trump. I guess it's the unexpected field of. What happened to the Maryland governor
O'Malley?
O'Malley, is he still in the race?
He's going to be. They have another Democratic race on a Democratic debate on Sunday.
Okay.
And he's going to be in it. And I think this is a two-person race. It's turning into a two-person race on both sides. It's turning into a two-person race on the Republican side as well between Ted Cruz and that's crazy. Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. That's the best they can do.
Well, listen, I mean, it's good for the Democrats.
Maybe, maybe not. Because the thing is, it's like, I'm not anti-Hillary. I like Bernie, but I have some setbacks on Bernie just because I just believe that they're going to make it hell for him and he won't be able to get anything done. Yeah. And because Hillary, if she got there, because she can finagle her way a little bit better, maybe some things to get done.
I don't like that because his suits look really bad.
Who?
Bernie Sanders. Bad tailoring.
That's terrible.
He's just off the rack. I don't know what that is.
Nobody paying attention to it.
I am. You see Trump? Trump's are bad too.
That's because Trump does, yeah. Well, Trump got bigger problems. You see that hair?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he needs
a makeover
problems.
all the way around.
He needs an all-around makeover. But that's part of his brand, though. It's part of his brand is just looking like he got, sitting on, thinking about cotton candy. You know what I'm saying? Like cotton candy is literally sitting on his head. I don't know. But have you been watching the markets today at all?
The markets today? I know the Dow bounced back this morning.
No, it's down.
It went back down?
Went back down again. Right now, I think we're around 15,000. This time last year, we were like 18.
Okay, well,
Well,
listen, it is what it is. I don't even pay I'm not going to touch my 401k. I'm not. All my long-term investments are just going to stay as they are. I mean, you can't panic. I mean, you just got to ride it out. It's going to come back.
Yeah,
the Chinese that are messing up our.
That's the key.
Yeah,
that's the key. Now, right now, for all the listeners out there, there's a couple of excuses that you'll get depending on your sources as to why the markets. They've always been emotional. They've always been erratic, but they've been going at a record pace for a few years, and it's bound to make these corrections. And I do believe they're corrections, but some of this correction is due to low oil prices. Because low oil prices may seem good for you, the consumer, but at the same time, it's not that good for those people that work in the oil industry, and then the value of the people that have stocks and equities within the oil markets. Those things go down. It's a commodity.
Right.
Those things go down.
The Saudis are trying to go public with their.
Yeah, and that's why, because the Saudis spend like none other, and they had money like none other. But since the price of oil has been down at record lows for a long period of time, they're not taking in as much money. Mm-hmm. So because they're not taking in as much money, they're trying to form some sort of IPO and go public with certain parts of their divestments. And also, the thing about Saudi Arabia that's smart as well is that for years, because they've been so flush with cash, they've been investing in a lot of other companies. They haven't put all of their stuff in that oil in that domestic market since they nationalized the oil.
You have to stay strong for the region. Otherwise, if they're unstable, then that's
exactly
catastrophe.
So the reason why this affects us guys is because we have a symbiotic relationship with China. And when I say symbiotic, I mean if China goes, that's not good for us.
No.
And if we go, that's not good for China. We do have an intertwined economy with China. We're still the largest consumer market on the planet. Almost all of the goods, the vast majority of the goods that are produced in China are sold here.
That's right.
The largest consumer market.
They even make GM parts in China.
And bring it back here. And then also China, they have their own because they were flush with cash. But China has their own issues because it's over 1 billion of them. And they have so many people within their country that are still stuck in poverty because they do have record numbers of people moving into the middle class. But when you have billions, it takes a long time to absorb that many people into the middle class. So for them to stay on track, especially since they are a communist country and the government has to do a lot to keep those people in order, and they have to spend a lot, they need to grow at double digits. And right now, I think their GDP growth that's going to come out within the next month or two, I think it's going to be 6, 7, 8%, right? Which we'll be happy to be 6, 7, 8%. But we're also, under 400 million in our country, 350, 360 million or so. They have 1 billion. So they really need to grow at double digits. And if they don't grow at double digits and they have that stagnant, stagnant economy, then other ripple effects start to happen. And they have these triggers in effect within their markets where if the prices go too low, the government can just go in and shut down trading.
Right. And they've done that.
I think they did it 2 or 3 times
last week.
Yeah. And so that disrupts markets all over the world. So one of the reasons for the sell-off today, I'm pretty sure has to do with some of these, conjoined forces. The steady oil prices, the stuff that's going on with China, and also the fact that we're the only country that celebrates Martin Luther King Day and are off Monday, and the markets are closed Monday. They'll still be open, and they'll be training in China and Europe on Monday, and they don't know how low it's going to go. So many people wanting to get their money out now.
Right. Before they come back on Tuesday.
So when they come back on Tuesday, things won't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that's pretty good.
Yeah, man, that's pretty good, man. And listen, I've got. I wanted to run you through the wordsmith game again.
Oh, the wordsmith game. We got it again.
Yeah, we got it again because all your listeners out there know you're quite the wordsmith. So what I've done is compiled 5 words for Ron, and we're gonna give him the words, and he's gonna give us a definition. So get ready for
word to your mother.
That's right. You ready for this?
I'm always ready, man. I'm always ready.
All right, here we go.
Okay, what words you got for me, man? Sometimes I have to spell them out too.
All right, you want me to spell it first?
Say it first.
Okay, magnanimity. I can't even say it. Magnanimity. Magnanimity. There we go. Magnanimity.
You been looking in my wallet?
Magnanimity. There we go.
Spell it, man.
Magnanimity. Magnanimity.
Man, you can't even say it, man. If you gonna choose a word, you got to be able to say it, bruh. What to say? Spell it slow. Spell it in English.
Magnanimity.
I'm gonna teach. I gotta teach you the word.
Hold on. Let me get
I gotta help you.
I need my glasses.
Just spell it.
Yeah,
sound it out.
Okay, all right.
Okay, spell it out.
Magnana. Nimity.
Magnanimity.
There you go. Magnum.
You can't stop. You gonna mess me up. Just stop.
Magna.
That's related to magnanimous.
Nimity.
That's related to magnanimity.
There you go. Magnanimity.
So that means like that's like to express like grace or let me see, like magnanimous, like nobility, noble or grace, being magnanimous.
Yeah, that's close enough.
What is it?
To your mother.
Generosity.
Word to your
Told you, man. I'm telling you, man.
Okay, so the Latin root word magna is great, or literally means.
Can we both agree that I got just a little bit of genius in me, just a little bit?
Well, I don't know. That's the first word.
Okay. Yeah, I might
say that word again for me.
Magnanimity.
Damn, it just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, man.
I got stuck like a bug.
I know you did. You caught a cramp, didn't you?
I got a tongue cramp.
You got a DJ in your throat.
I need my glasses, dude. This is all right. You ready for the second one?
Yeah. Are you ready?
No, right?
What's the next one?
Seditious.
I know that one. Seditious. That's like a rebel against.
Yeah, rebellion. That's right.
Yeah. You know how? Because sedition, because the North in the Civil War, the North accused the South of sedition, wanting to break away from authority.
See? You use it in a sentence, too.
Yeah, that's right.
He's cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Subversive.
Subversive?
Yes.
Is that like sneaky or something?
Are you asking me?
I mean subversive. I think of like subversive. That means sneaky, covert, something. I don't know. What is it?
Intending to overthrow. got that one wrong, my brother.
With you
Next.
being sneaky trying to overthrow somebody, I guess you could still squeeze it in somewhere. So,
Word to your mother.
what's next, man? What's next?
Android.
Android?
Yeah.
Like an android?
Adroit. Adroit. I'm sorry.
Spell it, man.
Adroit. Adroit.
Adroit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different than android.
It sure is.
You
My
been
bad.
watching Star Wars?
I sure was.
Adroit. Adroit is like to be an expert at something.
Yeah,
like
skillful.
Word to your mother.
All
Word
right.
to your mother. Word to your mother.
Word to your mother.
Word to your mother.
Okay, what's the next one, man?
Word to yeah.
Okay. Let me find another one here.
I have to ask you to spell stuff.
All right. Circuit.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Circuitous.
I had no clue, man.
Sir.
And you know what you need to do before you give me a word? You
man,
need to be
I
able to
already
say it, man. You need to learn how to say it before you give it to
It says.
you. Hear me. I bet you make up words too. Where'd you hear
Damn,
it?
let me spell this, man.
Yeah, spell it.
I CIRCUITOUS. Damn.
CIRCUITOUS.
Yeah.
Like circuit.
Circuitous.
It's like circuit with OUS at the end.
TOUS.
I said like circuit with the OUS at the end.
Yeah, pronounce it for me. I broke it down here.
Circuitous. I don't know. Is
Oh,
it something?
man.
Is it something sexual?
Exactly. No, it's not. That's wrong.
Is it wrong? What's it mean?
Indirect or roundabout.
My mind could go a million places with that, but I won't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
so you
so-
got
What I get?
2 out of 4. That's not bad.
Word to
50%.
your mother.
I think one of mine. I think y'all cheat. I think Jarvis too. I think y'all cheat sometimes, man. For one, you got a speech impediment. You try to tell me
I
stuff.
can't read.
You know,
Reading is
so
fundamental.
You out here sounding
Riff.
like Ron Harper. You know, so- That's the joke of the day. I love you, Ron. You my boy. You my boy. You cool people. But yeah, you got Ron. You got a cross between Ron Harper and
I gotta break these down.
a drunk Tracy Morgan. Yeah. All right. So I got 2 out of. I got. What did I get?
You got 2 out of 4.
You got to give me 5 next time. Then.
I did. I had 5, but I used 5. I used the word already today.
Which one? The one that
one
you mispronounced was a real word?
Which one is that?
I don't know. You mispronounced all of them, but you mispronounced all of them.
Insurrectionist.
That's the same thing. Insurrection. That's the same thing as. Is that a real word? Yeah, it's a real word. Insurrection. That's the same thing as the rebel thing.
I know, but I said that already, so I didn't give that to you.
Oh,
I
okay.
used it in sentence today earlier. So anyway.
Use insurrection in a sentence.
Yeah, I'm about to call you something here.
I'm just saying, it's all good. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm gonna buy you a
Word
drink
to your
later.
mother.
It's good.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, listen, guys. I know I wanted to bring up. I had it written down here somewhere. What do you think about the Oscars and the fact that we still have a blackout at the Oscars?
Man, I'm tired of it. Man, I didn't even watch it to tell you. Well,
Well,
the Oscars
they got
hasn't
nominated.
happened. Yeah, they got nominated.
The
But
Golden
what
Globes.
I'm saying is,
Yeah.
Golden Globes, all these awards. Come on, people, get real. That's why the ratings are dropping. Okay, the world has changed.
Yeah.
We're more of a diversified culture here.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Okay, you're gonna lose. You can't. No one's interested in whitewashing. The awards. Let's have it representative of people of America. You can't. Times have changed,
Preach.
and your ratings are going to continue to fall. And that's what I
Yeah,
have to say about that. And I want to watch the fashion, but I'm turned off by the whole thing.
Yeah, and you like the fashion because that's your industry. I don't care
Right.
about the fashion.
Right.
But that's your industry. But Gary Gray is a friend of mine, and
Yeah.
I text him, and F. Gary Gray is the director of Straight Outta Compton, and another friend of mine, Marlon Yates, actually played the DOC in the movie. And I text Gary, and I told him, like, once again, you're gonna add to our fabric of America with your films, like Fridays, like what's the one other one I'm thinking about with Vivica and all them. Set It Off. He's been Be Cool. He's been part of so many movies that have become part of what we look at in everyday life, in pop culture. When we say Bye Felicia, that came from Fridays. When you look down at somebody and say, you got knocked or whatever out, that came from Fridays. He's been part of so many things, and Straight Outta Compton was a good movie, and it did so much better than what they expected for it to do. So I thought that it would do better. I thought it would get a nod for something but no, it didn't. And so I was very disappointed in that. But then when you look across the board, you look at great movies like Creed with great performances. You look at Will Smith's performance.
Have you seen Creed?
I have not heard one person, regardless of what their ethnicity or background was, I have not heard one person say anything but great things about the movie Creed.
Good. I gotta check it out. I haven't been in the movies. I gotta catch up. There's a lot I haven't seen.
Yeah, I may go to the movies tonight.
I gotta see Star Wars. I haven't seen Star Wars.
I saw Star Wars the other night.
It was good?
You ain't missing nothing.
Yeah, well,
That depends on if you're
got
into.
mixed reviews on that.
I mean, that's if you like a real Star Wars guy,
Right.
then it's probably for you. But no, it didn't do much for me. I saw The Big Short, and I loved it.
The Big Short.
The Big Short.
What
I
about
loved
the
it.
movie with they got nominated with your boy DiCaprio, Leonardo?
I haven't seen that yet.
I heard
Haven't
that's
seen
pretty
that yet.
good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that too. But I brought that up because it just seems as if, every year you would think that Hollywood will have learned its lesson in regards to diversity, but it doesn't.
No, and you know what? You have to change the board because the board is obviously not diverse. Diverse enough. Or you may have one minority on there who's afraid to really kind of go the other way because then they'll expect them to. And not that, this is not a pity party. I mean, you don't want to nominate a film that doesn't deserve it. But there are some great films out there that, that just because it's not Leonardo or Johnny Depp or Brad Pitt, I mean,
Yeah, and sometimes you wonder whether or not it's the marketability too. I mean, whether or not it's the commercial success. I mean, you have had some movies that have had great commercial success, but they just aren't Oscar type. You know what I'm saying? If you think about like some Jurassic World and those films that did very well at the box office, but they're just not, I guess, artsy or to the level where they should be considered for an Oscar
like
for
the hip
whatever
hop
reason.
film.
See, with Straight Outta Compton,
Straight Outta
I think,
Compton. Have
I
you seen
think
that?
because, I saw it. I've seen it a few times.
What do you think? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being best.
I think it's a good 8.5 to a 9.
Okay.
Just
that's
because of its cultural significance. See, that movie spoke beyond just what was going on with NWA itself. It spoke to why NWA existed. And then also, if you think about the time when the movie hit the theaters and everything that's going on with police brutality
Black
and
Lives
wondering why,
Matter.
Black Lives Matter, the stuff that went on in Baltimore and Ferguson, this all takes place at that time. And this offers through the prism of filmmaking a glimpse into why bands like NWA came to be. They came to be out of this environment of oppression, of police brutality, and they spoke about it. But people they weren't listening to it at the time. Only the black youth, for the most part, would listen to them. And then it got to a point where some of the broader America listened to them, but they didn't hear what they were actually saying. Their famous song, F the Police. Some people say that you can have that song is just as relevant in some neighborhoods in America today as it was back then.
Right.
So because of its cultural significance, because of the rags to riches story, which happens to be a true story about what happened with some of the characters involved, and also because of the tragedy and some of the other social things in regards to like Eazy-E's death and stuff like that, all that stuff together just made it for a bigger film than just a biopic about a rap group. It was just bigger than that. And I thought that the Academy would be sophisticated enough to see that, but maybe they just see what they want to see. I'm not sure.
Well, listen, they gave, who was the hip hop guy that got an Academy Award about 3-4 years ago for the soundtrack of, help me out. He, hip hop dude, got a soundtrack Academy Award.
Not back in the day when.
5, 6 years, 7 years ago.
Oh, you talking about 3 6 Mafia?
Yeah, 3 6 Mafia.
That was straight hood.
That was straight hood, they gave him an Academy Award for soundtrack, best soundtrack, and that was a ghetto hood soundtrack. That slipped by somehow.
That was bad. That was bad. And
I was embarrassed.
I was embarrassed by that too.
I was like, "Are you kidding? That's what you're going to give us?" You know.
It's funny you bring that up because I was very, very. I was like, man, where are we going with this? Remember they were on stage at the Oscars or something?
Yeah.
Just turning
Gold
straight.
teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have Taraji on stage too, I think.
Maybe so.
It's hard out there for a pimp.
Yeah.
Is that the
Was that the soundtrack?
Yep.
Wow.
Jarv knew that right off the top of his head.
That's the one that won the Academy Award Best Soundtrack?
That's terrible.
Come on now.
That's terrible.
And Straight Outta Compton doesn't get a look, a wink?
Oh, my God. That's...
So, I don't know.
I don't know. So what will probably happen is that they will turn and swing the pendulum too far on the other side.
That's exactly what they did.
And then you get some sort of buffoonery type of performance that they say, "Oh, this is groundbreaking."
Yeah, but why does the standard have to be any different? Why do they? Why is it? We can expect that the pendulum will swing too far to the right or left. But why? I mean, what lens? I mean, look through the same lens. Just take the color out of the lens. Still have the same criteria.
Hollywood still, and a lot of some stuff that goes on now, I put on the Hollywood, because Hollywood still has a ways to go. It has its old boy network, and it has its.
They just passed equal pay for women and men in Hollywood.
Did they really?
Yeah,
that's fantastic. That's good.
I mean, but just now it's 2016.
Yeah, but out here, this is a company town in many respects, and the powers that be have had power for so long. And out here in the wild, wild west, they feel like they can get away with anything.
Well, they have been.
And it's in the artistic community as well. So in the artistic community, you don't have as much of a corporate ethic as
Hollywood's
you would find.
its own government.
It's its own government. If anyone wants to call in with questions or concerns or comments,
or can help us pronounce some of these words,
or help Woody pronounce them. Speak for yourself. Help Woody pronounce a few words. What's that one word I wrote it down to? I won't even put it on. You might get stroke out or something. If
magnanimity. That's what it is.
Just
said it.
Magnanimity. Boom. Magnanimity. Say it with me slow.
No,
magnanimity.
I'm not saying it with your throat.
Well, the phone number here is 323-843-2826. Again, 323-843-2826. I wanted to follow up to y'all. Oh, before I go too far, I almost forgot. I'm over here looking at it on my wrist as it blings and shines. Woo!
I'm going to take that watch.
You like that? Woo!
Don't put it down.
Okay. Javago Watches, my primary sponsor. Javago Watches, www.javagowatches.com. Go to the website, check out their vast array and styles of watches for men and women. If you guys decide to get it on Amazon, you can get a discount because they're pretty pricey. So you can go to their website, check out which one you want, and then go to Amazon, find that same watch, and go ahead and buy it on Amazon for a discount. And that's Javago Watches, www.javagowatches.com. What was I going to bring up again before I had to go to this?
Word to your mother.
You know what? I forgot I was going to bring up, but I can always go back to it. What's his name? Oh, I know what I was going to bring up. Flint, Michigan. Update on that.
The water?
It's getting deeper.
It's getting deeper?
Yeah. I guess that what they're saying now is that there's a good chance that I want to say maybe over 100 people have shown effects from the water, and maybe 11 of them have died. But a whole generation of children for the next few years are going to have problems, and some of them may develop emotional, developmental problems, cognitive problems. So that means they'll have problems in school.
The feds have to step in now.
Well, the feds, they've issued a state of emergency.
Good.
But they said before all of this happened, if the state would have taken care of it at the time they were notified for $100 a day, they would have been able to.
$100 a day?
$100 a day.
which would have done, what would that have gone
They
towards?
could have fixed it all for $100 a day based on the time when they found out, when they're notified.
Oh, there's some lawsuits coming.
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm
And
gonna move there real
also
quick.
they also debunked Dr. Mona. I can't remember her. I can't pronounce, like my boy Woody. Can't pronounce her
At
last
least
name,
I
but
try,
I just
man.
call
At least
her.
I try.
I just call her Dr. Mona, and she was a doctor at Flint's Hurley Hospital that did all of these lead studies on children, and found that in some cases the children's lead intake into the systems had been like maybe 200% higher than what they were supposed to be.
So
Some
the water
crazy
is
number.
totally deleterious.
She told the state, and they kind of tried to discredit her. Now they've come back and apologized to her because she was right. It's crazy. The stuff that they're going through right now in Flint, Michigan is crazy. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to follow up with the Genesee County Commissioner that we spoke to on the phone last week, and I want to get a up-to-date assessment on what's going on there.
You should.
Yeah, but I know that the governor, Rick Snyder, either he's got a hell of an excuse, or maybe he should step down.
He should step down, resign. You know what?
Yeah,
And it's going to be the best water in the state in about
it's going to be the
5
cleanest.
years.
It's going to be the cleanest water
Yeah.
ever.
You can
And
go
it
back
should
and
be.
invest.
I can go back and invest. Yeah, I can go back with a bottle of water now and just sell it for how much. Oh yeah, that's the key
Pull
too.
up a
People
truck.
can't get out of there because the people can't sell their homes and leave because who wants to buy their home? So they're saying, like, I saw some reports where people were saying they wanted to leave, they wanted to put their house up for sale and leave the community, but no one's going to buy their house. Like, who's going to come here? We just have to just leave and leave this place vacant and just go somewhere.
Donald Trump, get down there. Get down there. Do some good.
There may be an opportunity there to invest once they get the infrastructure. When they do fix the infrastructure, it's going to be
Well, the time
state
is
of the
now while
art,
the price is
and
low.
that's going to be and then maybe this can be a resurgence in Flint, similar to what is happening in Detroit.
Might be a blessing in disguise.
Maybe. Well, listen, guys, thank you again for joining us. You could have spent your Friday anywhere, but you chose to spend it with me and Woody here. So enjoy the long weekend. Happy
Magnanimity.
MLK Day. Did you say happy anime?
Magnanimity.
Yeah, we're gonna teach Woody how to read. We're
I'm going to get this word.
We're
damn it.
gonna get him some muscle relaxers
use this.
too, because I know his mouth is cramping up right now. He got a Charlie horse on his. Hey, thanks for joining us on Focus with Ron Frierson. Have a great weekend.
Good night.